Hey, strong people. Welcome to Strong Talk Podcast. I guess it's a podcast because there's someone else. Haven't done one in a while. Joined by Anthony Furman, 105 kilogram world's strongest man. And you got to retain that title because there wasn't one this year. That's the easiest way to remain the world's strongest man, right?
Yeah, you tell me. Easiest. I was so sad when it got canceled.
Also, running Strength Collective. We might touch on that a little bit, but we have big news because, as a under 105 kilogram athlete, you want to, there's not that many opportunities for them. And you're saying you want to put on a big show. And I don't really know what's going on with it. So I'm excited to hear about it. And so just fill everyone in and we'll go from there.
Well, thank you for having me. We have a long-standing relationship. I came up in the sport following starting Strongman, and got to the level I am. Like I said, I was looking for information from the beginning, so it's very cool to kind of be part of your community still. Yeah. So, all right, let me start by saying, I'm doing something that's unprecedented. Never been done before in the States, I don't think. I'm throwing a 105 kilogram only show, pro show, not pro show. So I'll explain a little bit. I'm putting $10,000 to first place, and that's $10,000 out of my pocket. I'm going to cash in some stocks. Hopefully they don't take a dive between now and then, but that's guaranteeing. I'm guaranteeing 10 grand to first place. And I'm inviting 12 of the best in the country, 105 kilogram, and I'm basing that on, I'll say right now, I'm inviting Sean DeMarinis because he is Mr. America's Strongest Man, even though he hasn't competed. And it's going to be an open qualification for the rest, similar to OSG a little bit, I would say. But it's going to be open qualification. So we're going to fill out 30 to 35 total people, and we're running this World's Strongest Man style where there's going to be 5 heats, 2 qualifier days, and 1 finals day.
Wow. So full on show.
We're talking full on show, and we're talking old school events. I'm talking fingers, Paulins axle. We're doing a tire keg to chain drag. We're doing anvil load. I mean, we're doing stuff in the sand. It's gonna be on the beach at Tybee Island, Georgia.
What's the date range on this? Just get the basic information out there.
Right now we are through May 2nd is our primary dates, and the following weekend is our secondary dates.
Gotcha.
We are waiting on a couple approvals for permits, just because of COVID and everything, but those are our primary and secondary dates. I got all the invites out. The guys have accepted. No, to sum it up, what we got?
Yeah, sum it up. We got early May. You're going to invite 12 people. There's going to be qualifiers for about another 20-ish, qualifying heats. So, 5 heats, et cetera, 6 or so people for heat, 10 grand for first place. Probably the worst investment someone's ever made in strongman, but hey, that's how things start. A lot of things start by saying this is a terrible idea, and they turn out good.
Well, so I mean, I'm very aware that I'm not getting that 10 grand. That's sure. I'm aware it's a loss, and that's okay with me. I'm blessed to be in a position with Strengthly Collective and just where I'm at that I can give back, like I've been talking about. I can do it. I can put action into words where a lot of people don't or can't. I'm not to slight anybody, but the 105 class has never been given proper attention by any organization or anything right so far. Here in the States, at least, they do some pretty good shows overseas. And I'm trying to change that. I'm trying to make it a legitimate thing. We're doing a live stream, professional, with some commentators, in actual multiple angle cameras, focusing on the stuff, not just a fucking iPad on a stick
over in a corner or something.
Yeah, right. No, we're doing an actual stream. I'm teaming with Iron Resurgence to bring this to Savannah to help out with the logistics. Johnny's bringing all this dope ass equipment from prior worlds down that he has up in New Jersey. It's amazing. The way the support already I've gotten. I'm very excited. And that 10 grand is not all the money. I am currently in talks with, people to get some more money involved, obviously.
Sure.
And we're looking at covering rooms and stuff for competitors and all that stuff.
So helping out with some travel, all the things that go into being a pro athlete that, they want.
Yep. And
Yeah.
because it's unsanctioned, we don't have pro cards, but we do kind of know who's the best competitors. So that's what you know what I mean. That's how that's going.
Sure. I think there's a lot of good things about the pro system that we have here in the United States, but we are the only place that really has that. Everyone else, it's like you get to a level, people start inviting you to these shows, and then they're like, now you got to go to these shows. It's just kind of goes, people can just tell, and it's less of
Well,
an official thing.
the pro, it's amazing because you get to compete against the best, which is why you want to be a pro, right?
Hmm.
But the problem, especially for the 105s, is there are no shows besides one a year. I don't want to compete at the Arnold as an amateur heavyweight every year. That shit wears out quick. I want to be able to compete against 105s, have a tiered system where I get to bigger shows and bigger cash prizes. And there's none of that for the 105s right now in any federation of any sort. I'm trying to provide that because I love the sport and I love the class.
Yeah, no, I think it's awesome to do. And, it was when I started in the sport around like 2007, 2008, they had pro-am shows at every Europa. So like I remember watching, there was like a 105 that was Justin Blake. And he seemed like he won every single one of them back then, at least for like a 2 year, like stint. He just would go and he'd win. Um, but then I was like, I so wanted to do that because that sounded exciting. I'm like, oh, I can get to this class. And then there's like, I don't think there was ever any big money in it. Like, like I think there, but if you live kind of central in the country and you could, you're not all the way on the west or east coast, you could travel relatively cheap and pick up third or fourth and mostly cover your board. Like I think most people would be happy just with mostly covering their expenses.
And
And
I was going to
yeah,
say, that's the idea, 100%. I mean, and that's
yeah.
part of like, I want this to be the inaugural competition. I'm going to call it the Strength League Super Series. And
Hmm.
I want to put showcase different weight classes, different genders. Eventually, I want to have a women's show. I want to have a men's lightweight show. I want to give them attention and bring them under the umbrella and provide them the incentives by covering travel, by offering competitive prize money, by
Hmm.
making it open for the best competitor. I think that'll happen. And I'm sorry, heavyweights, you guys are last on my list because you guys get enough right now.
Yeah, there's opportunities for heavyweights, and obviously that could improve for them too. But I think we're in the same line of thought where we always probably slightly biased because we did compete in weight classes less at heavyweight. But like people say, no one wants to watch them, or like no one's interested. But I'm like, I built up a following by being a lightweight strongman. You built up a following by being a 105. So it's like, and there was times where, at a point where it was, like I had a bigger following than like a lot of heavyweights. I don't really care about it now and I don't look like that. So people don't care, but like people care. They just don't know. Right.
Okay.
Like,
Yes, exactly. People care if you give them something to care about.
mhm.
And that's the end of the story.
Yeah, 100%.
They can't care if you don't give it to them.
No. Yeah.
And
You
that's
can
what
just,
nobody does do to fix it. And that is provide it.
yeah. And, people said the same thing I remember, like Dana White said the same thing in the UFC, like no one wants to watch women. No one wants to watch women. And then like he brought over, the right woman to do it that people cared about. And he's like, this is my best idea I've ever had. I'm like, you said it wouldn't work for like 5 years.
Yeah,
Same,
I'm telling you, that's same thing. And I'd rather watch a man Nunes fuck people up than many of the dudes fight. Like that's way more entertaining to me watching a man Nunes fight. So
yeah, well,
like at this point, like UFC, that's a perfect point. The heavyweights are so boring to watch now in the UFC.
they are. And, it used to just even, around that same time, 2008, when I was getting into strongman, I think there was only like 170 and up. They cut like the 155 and now they have classes. And what it comes down to is like, we are an individual sport. So you need the stars within the division for people to care. But like, I think if the right person with the right kind of people that are, kind of like the antithesis, their little enemies and stuff, and the right personalities, I think anyone could be marketable and popular and draw crowds in strongman if there was any sort of platform for them to do so other than Instagram.
And one thing I plan on doing leading up to this is I plan on getting with a lot of the competitors and doing a one-on-one kind of interview like this to get them out there and get them talking and get the people to know their personality more. I plan on it's not going to cost anybody to watch this stream that we're doing. It's going to be free. It's going to be free to do the qualifier. It's not going to charge people. It's going to be hard as shit. That qualifier, I'll tell you right now. So here's my qualifier. It is going to be a 600-pound deadlift for reps and max axle. So it's not going to be an easy qualifier for people to get into. Be one of the top 20. Clean and press, yes.
Nice.
And I'll tell you why. Because the first event of the competition is an Apollon's axle max, clean and press.
With a fixed bar?
And I'm talking true Apollon's axle, not a regular.
Yeah. Nice.
Yep. Just like the big boys get.
So I think you know, not to stick to these are 100% the events, because, you know, they can change day of, as we saw just at World's Strongest Man, they changed, but do you want to kind of lay out what you're thinking at so far?
Yep. Okay. That's no problem. So for day one heats, we're going 3 events right now. This is max Apollon's axle overhead. I can pull them up real quick actually, because I'm so excited. I can't remember anything. All right. So it's going to be max axle, Apollon's axle overhead. There's going to be Finkel fingers and a keg, chain drag or anchor drag medley, whichever one I get my hands on, that's better. Just like old school. I mean, you know, that old school stuff, the vibe. It's all on the beach. The keg and the anchor will most likely be in the sand. And then we're build platforms and use parking lots for the others.
Sure. So an anchor drag in the sand.
It's probably going to be anchor carry if I get my hands on an anchor.
Yeah. I don't think people want to drag that through the sand.
No, we're going to carry that through if we get an anchor.
Gotcha.
And then, so we're going to take a break. All 5 heats run through. Day 2 is going to be a car deadlift for reps. I actually lucked out. I think I got Tesla to sponsor. So we'll have Tesla SUVs to deadlift, which will be heavy. By the way. It's heavy.
People don't realize how heavy that is. No, look up the specs.
It is this car deadlift is going to be, there's going to be some zeros, and that's okay. And then we're going to do an odd object load medley. Probably, I'm thinking of some old school barrels, like them big blue ones. I'm going to try and get a anvil, a tire, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, just a bunch of random stuff.
Just vibing out to the old days of Worlds. Yeah, we need our own. We've never had our own like this.
Yeah, it sounds very much like a mid 2000s kind of World show.
You know, and I part of the reason I'm hearkening back is to that is one, it's just not done often anymore, and I want to create a spectacle and opportunity that guys never got, because this class wasn't big back then at all. 2, it's a little fucking slap, because if you would have pushed this class back then, we'd be in the same stage and we would have not had to do this right now. But it's okay, because I'm here.
You know,
and then the finals. This is what I'm excited about. We're gonna have a. No, what do you got? Stupid lag. Oh. Stupid lag. I know.
We're testing it out. It's all my fault as usual. Yeah, it's interesting because, you know, Strongman was in such a boom, like in the mid 2000s, until we hit, you know, the little, you know, housing price, that whole 2008 kind of crap, you know, the housing bubble and everything. And people are just, you know, sponsors are just throwing money at stuff. And then it kind of went away, and it's like, it seems like it was just growing all to a point again. And then we have this, you know, COVID and can't do them. And it seems like it's creeping on, but it's a hard time for it right now. You know, it's, you know, promoters aren't doing well. It's going to be interesting how it goes into 2021. But the difference is now is that we do have more of a social media presence. And even though there was social media back then, promoters didn't use it literally at all.
Yeah.
Now it's the only way, like, places like Giants Live are even making any money now, which is interesting. When, you know, they could have embraced it 12 years ago, would have helped, but, you know, here we are. So what are the final events?
So the finals, we're looking at doing a basket squat with a keg, old school, where the keg goes in each rep. We're looking at doing a car walk, old school keg toss in the sand, just a 6 or 7 kegs or however many. Maybe we'll do 12 kegs. I don't know. It might be, we're gonna do something different. I don't know. We have a press medley. It's going to be a log, a block, and an inch dumbbell for reps to finish it out. A Thomas inch dumbbell. And then we are doing a stone series. It might be a last man standing kind of bracket style, like NCAA. I'm kind of thinking of doing something unique with that, with the stone. So that one is definitely up in the air because I don't know how I'm going to format that one. We might go for a stone record too, so we'll figure it out.
I think doing at least, even if, like the fifth stone was above a record weight, not 105s, would be a good, would be, interesting to do, just because, someone was asking me about like what the world record is for the 105 kilogram Atlas stone. I'm like, I don't know. No one's ever given an opportunity to do it. Really. Like I've honestly don't even know what it is, or like the last time it was really contested.
Well, we're going to have a 520-pound stone there. So
Yeah. I'm pretty sure whatever the record is below that.
yeah, it's below that, whatever it is. So we're gonna have that at least. We also might do a Trump style stone where there's 3 stone weights and they get to pick. It's like I said, it's just I want to do it in a way where it's pleasing to everybody, and also it's maybe something new, something people haven't thought of, something that just catches the eye. That's what we're looking for. We're looking to provide that to everybody. That's also safe for the athletes.
Yeah, I think number one, you give the athletes that pro style treatment, that, oh, I'm actually competing. It's not like, it's something special. It's different than doing a show like, we all did when we start out, where it's in a parking lot or something and there's 5 events and it's all the same thing. And something that's happened even at like the highest level, even at worlds or something, is that you see that they're starting to make, I feel some of the events, how's it easiest to run everyone through this? And it totally makes sense at a lot of contests, but then it's like it has to look like superhuman feats with special stuff, not just the same as like, whatever Rogue or Titan or whatever kit you have in your CrossFit gym. It shouldn't look the same. It should look like something you at home are not able to do because you don't have cool stuff like that.
Yeah, it's different, right? Like you want
Mhm.
it to be, people can look at that like, wow, he's fucking carrying an anchor that stops a boat from moving. That's crazy. And I plan on having like smaller weighted implements there for the crowd to touch and kind of mess around with a little bit, maybe with some guidance. I mean, I have a lot of things going to make this unique. One good thing I can confirm, I was told I'm allowed to confirm it 70%. That's it, because things happen with the Arnold and everything. Martins Litzis will be there as head judge. But once again, that's not 100%. There is room for movement on that.
Sure.
But he's, having him there. He is the heavyweight American strongman. He's the face of that. So that's a big thing, having him in part of it. And I'm just, like I said, I'm pushing to make this not only an inaugural event, but I want it to be an annual event, and not and a start of something special for everyone in the States, strongman competitors.
Yeah, I think it's great. And, obviously this is just a very preliminary discussion on everything, you know, uh, at least you're not doing it like it seems everyone does, where they just announce someone's going to be the thing, even without confirming with them,
Oh yeah,
or
no.
and they don't even ever announce if that person's then not coming or something. Like
Oh no.
that's
Hey, it's like, so I like in strongman or wrestling a lot, and in wrestling, the card is always subject to change. That's their kind of their phrase. Like it could change 10 minutes before the wrestling match. That's how it is in strongman. So, like I said, that is the plan. We're good right now, but life happens, things happen, and of course, we got to be flexible. So, and that's why I'm actually probably on online qualifiers. We're probably gonna have a waiting list because people get hurt. People have babies, crazy things happen. So we have to back qualifier. I'd like to touch on that. That is going to go live February 1st. We're going to give people 1 month to submit their videos. And it's got
awesome. So for it just so yeah, for the online qualifier, you get a month to do it. For any updates on, that when things are subject to change, what's the best way to keep up to date on this show and everything else you have going on with Strengthly Collective and everything else?
It's going to be Strengthly Collective is the primary source pushing this info out. So we have a Facebook page, Strengthly Collective, Instagram at Strengthly Collective. I will most likely share on Starting Strongman as I have to keep everyone updated. But that is the driving force behind this, because of the support we have for the Strengthly Collective, we're able to do stuff like this. So
Awesome. Yeah, it's a great thing. The best way to support the sport of strongman is to support the people giving back to it with your dollars. That's the only way it grows, if it's its own little economy, I feel. From everyone, lots of people, yourself included, and lots of other people offer services and products, and, pay attention to who's sponsoring shows and what banners you see. And, that should make a decision with your holiday shopping. If you want more stuff for strongman, there just needs to be more companies that's how CrossFit grew. Like, they're their own economy. CrossFitters bought CrossFit equipment from CrossFit equipment sellers, their gear, their stuff. They're very good. Less so now, I think, but like, if this protein's marketed just for CrossFit, that's what we buy. Like, it's one of the reasons, like, if I'm going to go get an energy drink, I buy a Rain instead of a
That's,
Bang.
and I did the same. I started doing the same thing with the Rain, especially because they sponsor Strongman. Bang doesn't do shit. And, and giving back, and they give back. You see Rain sponsoring all types of different shows. It's fantastic. So if they give back, I support. Like, I'm one of your Patreons.
I appreciate that. I saw that. Thank you.
You're welcome. Of course.
It would be help me run another internet line in here for next time.
Hey, good. That we won't have this lag.
Yeah. So I appreciate it. I got some editing to do. Anything else you want to add before we get going, Anthony?
I just want to say to everyone, thank you for all the support so far. It's not easy on both ends of it, supporting or being the supported. And just thank you guys. I'm here to make change, like I've been promising. I'm trying to affect that. I'm trying to do that right now. And just God bless everyone and Merry Christmas.
Yeah. Merry Christmas. Happy holidays. Happy Hanukkah. Listening to the Strong Talk podcast. I'm Kalle Beck, joined by Anthony Furman with huge 105 kilogram strongman news. Be sure to hit subscribe. And like Anthony said, if you want a better internet connection in here, go to patreon.com/startingstrongman.